What's up, everybody? Spirit with a Gun here from Sleepless Nights with another episode on the Space Engineers Programming 101 series. When we left off in the last episode, we were dealing with power, and it was not going very well, to be honest. I've done a few conversions, but they haven't seemed to really fix anything at the moment. Let's go ahead and collapse these. Oh, and by the way, I should theoretically have fixed my microphone issues. I had been playing around with some whatchamacallit. I'd been playing around with some noise detection to see if I could cancel out my fan on my computer, and it kind of backfired on me because I forgot it was still active on the profile on XSplit. And so it kept muting me all the time. I hope that's gone. I'll probably stop it after this section just to make sure. And then usually I've been pausing the video, but anyways, that's neither here nor there. So, a couple problems that we ran into before. We had an infinity that showed up, the numbers weren't right, so on and so forth. So I've changed these to doubles instead of floats because I remembered last time I was dealing with power I ran into that problem where floats couldn't house the numbers once you converted them to watts because it was too big. So we're trying that and hoping that it works. Jury's still out. I also converted the different the different functions to accept doubles, and I converted it up here as well to where these are two doubles. So with that in mind, theoretically, all of this should work. Now, I did remember that sometimes when you split these detailed info, not here, here. When you split these up and do detailed info, sometimes the new line character and the next line are considered one thing. I believe that is the case with reactors. However, I also ran into an issue where it's not the same thing, and I've got this line down here where we're supposed to be extracting the ID, and what we're doing here is substring at 0 for 2 spaces. But this is also throwing an error saying that basically the index and the length have to be part of the value. I'm pretty sure that's saying that it's not actually getting to this point because some of these don't have that issue. Now, here's the issue, really. Well, I'm just thinking we could do a secondary split. What does the split actually return? That would be something to test. So if I did temp okay. Isn't that how it's done? Oh, temp already is an array. Okay, so temp I2 plus 3 dot split. Let's try that. So you get a separator, an integer count. Ooh. String split options. I did not know it had a counter. Can I? Nope. Okay. Let's try that again. Sometimes I don't like IntelliSense because it goes away too fast. Returns a string array that contains the substrings in this string that are delimited by elements of a specified string array. Stop going away. I'm sure there's a way to hold it in place, but parameters specify the maximum number of substrings to return and whether to return empty array elements. Ooh, we could get fancy here. Alright, so let's check this out. Let's try split by a new line character. Oh, here's all our overloads. Okay. Return the maximum number of substrings to return. So theoretically, it should only return the first one. A parameter specifies the maximum number of substrings to return. Split options. Returns a string array that contains the substrings. System.split options? Wow. They went all out on this thing. Alright, so we're just going to try one. Oh, it needs a close parentheses. And a semicolon. You're gonna clear up? What's the problem? What is the problem? Generate method to convert. No, I don't need to convert it. Can I do a toString off of this? Wow, this is getting confusing. The best overloaded method match for string split parameter character has some invalid arguments. I thought that's how we did this. Okay, hold on. We do this. Character separator, which should be new line, just like a blank space, right? T J equals 1, maybe? Can we do it that way? Okay, this is not liking how we're setting up. Dang. If I do like this, it'll just work, right? No, it's still not liking. What is going on here? It has some invalid arguments. Oh, is it still returning a string array? Alright. Oh, I gotta try this. If this works, this is probably going to be the most complicated string system I've ever done. So that's a split at 0.toString. Will that work? No. Okay, that's not working either. Dang. I don't want to do a whole nother variable just to get this one isolated string value. I was trying to do it all inline, but it is not happy about this because, oh, maybe I wonder if I can cast it. Let's try that next. As string? No, it's not liking that either. Ugh, okay. Oh, I need to string and put that in parentheses and then that for closing. Dang, it is not happy with this. It keeps wanting to return a string, an array string, even though I'm only telling it to return 1. That's annoying. Because I really only need the 1. I just need it to split and get rid of the other half. Substring would work the best, but it's not clearing it properly. So temp, let's just retype this, because this is getting kind of cluttered. No, what in the world is that? +3 substring. Start index would be 0. Length should be 2. I don't know why this is causing a flag in the game. Like it's not properly loading it. And I don't know why, because theoretically this would work the best. You do a toString, 0, and it goes 2 spaces. That's the idea. And just to test that out, let's do just temp at i.substring so we can look at this. Start index. The 0-based starting character position of a substring in this instance retrieves a substring from this instance. The substring starts at a specified character position and has a specified length. The only thing I've thought of doing... Ooh, wait. This could be even more confusing, but it could work. I2 +3 dot index of a new line character. right? Why are you not happy now, still? Oh, there we go. So theoretically what I'm telling it to do... Wait, no, that's gonna give it a certain number of values, not... Dang. Alright, there's a way to do this. There's so many different functions with strings, it's not even funny. Like, you should be able to do anything you want with strings. Deletes all the characters from this string, beginning at a specified position and continuing through the last position. That's what we want. That is what we want. Alright, so let's scrap this. This is getting cluttered. So we don't want a substring. We want to remove at the starting index, beginning at a specified position and continuing through the last position. Let's try index of a new line character. Will you work? Are you okay with that? Okay. I hope that works. My concern is that it's going to start after the index of a new line character and not on it, and remove the new line character as well. That's the only problem that I can foresee there. We could do a simple... Okay, here's the other way we can do this, but it won't fix this. Oh no, what I'm thinking is we don't have watts normally, but I do want to make sure that that's a case just in case. So let's try this and see if it works. That's for that, that's for the remove. So that's what I need to copy. And then we'll just paste that in over here. So these are extra lines I've put in so that we can see what's going on as we're doing stuff. Those will go away once we've actually got this in the code. Theoretically, though, everything else is okay. I've got everything set up for doubles, all the math. I've looked over the math, and it looks okay. I mean, I'm no math expert or anything, but it looks okay. So let me go ahead and copy this in, and then we will check it in the game and see if it's actually working. Alrighty, so here we are back in the game. I've pasted our new data back into the program and I'm running it now. So we'll know really quick. See, it's giving me this error. Start index cannot be less than 0. Parameter start index. But it's not less than 0 unless there is no new line character, in which case the string is properly functioning. I hate the way that they did this detailed information because it's not clean. Like, the new line characters bleed into each line and stuff. It's really aggravating. Alright, well... let's try something else. Let's do this. We'll say if it contains... Alright, so I2 equals max, I2 plus 1 equals output, 2 would equal the value, 3 would equal the identifier. So what we need to do is say if temp I2 plus 3 dot contains new line, then string ID equals, or let's do ID trimmed equals temp I2 plus 3 dot remove temp I2 plus 3 index of is this a new line character or is this in... yeah, it is, okay. Sometimes you have to do single quote apostrophes to get the new line character value, not the string value. So keep that in mind. And then we'll change this to ID trimmed, and we'll change this to ID trimmed. And we're also going to need to basically duplicate this down here as well. Yeah, that's one of those, if it was properly formatted, if the detailed information was, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I was just thinking of something. It might not be a new line character. No, it has to be. It has to be. Because the formatting, it's down here, like they're all in new lines. But it's like current will sometimes be with the megawatt. It'll be like, if I say this part and then give me this part, there is no... what's happening is the split. Okay, to be fair, this is not entirely a detailed information fault. This is actually part of how I'm configuring this. I have it splitting for empty white space. If there's no white space here and it just goes new line character to this, the next point is going to be output. So MW and current are going to be seen as the same, because what the computer is actually seeing is MW new line current. There is no white space. So if I tell it to split for white space, it's not going to see this. It's going to see this as all one entry. That's actually the problem. So I apologize for saying that it was actually the fault on the devs for how they have detailed information formatted. It is not. I was not thinking about it like that. So, one thing is we're going to have to change this. Let's say max ID, because we're going to have to use this down here anyway. So let's do this. And we'll have to copy and paste this back into Visual Studios when we're done. We'll call this min ID. Alright, there's that. And there's that. So I gotta get rid of this too. Alright, now are you gonna cause any... You are. Dagnabbit. 804... 804... Oh. There needs to be another bracket there, and another bracket there. Parentheses, whatever. Really? Embedded statement cannot be a declaration or labeled statement. What are we talking about, embedded statement? This? How's this an embedded statement? Just because it's part of an if sequence? Oy. This thing's so persnickety sometimes. What? Okay. So it has to be in braces. Good grief. Good grief. Give me a break. There. You happy? Put your little braces on. You really shouldn't need that, actually. It should be able to do just an if sequence that's one line long. What the heck? Name Tem? What is... Am I just that tired? I am that tired. Okay. Gosh. Sorry about that. 808. The name Min does not exist in the current context. It's because it doesn't make it if I haven't declared it. But I need to be able to see it. Dagnabbit, are you going to make me declare it all the way up here? You are, you jerk. Ugh. Sorry, I'm also very tired. It's not a good idea to do programming while you're tired. I just have some family stuff I've got to do this weekend. I'm sure you've heard about it by now. I've mentioned it in a couple of different videos that I've been recording all day. I've been recording them for the weekend. So, or for like Friday through Sunday, which is probably when I'm going to be gone. Yay, it works. Now let's just see if it works. See what I did there? So because of that, I'm really, really tired. It's very late. Power status. Aha! Success! Alright, now let's see what we got. I see... Ooh, that's bad. I think... Wait, no. I think I had it giving me totals somewhere. Alright, so this got screwed up somewhere. 23.08 megawatts. Let's check and see if that's accurate. I feel like it might be accurate. We're at 5.08 megawatts, and that's 12%. Is there any way to see the maximum, though? Batteries are 4, so that's 8. We have 1 solar panel, that's peh, doesn't really even matter. And we have 3 reactors at 5. So that's 15 and 8. Yeah, that should be about 23, give or take. 15 and 8. Alright, so the max is calculating properly, it looks like. 23.08, because the 83 kilowatts... What is 83 watts? Alright, I gotta check and see how we're printing this, because something about how this is being printed is completely screwing things up. Okay, so this is the last line. So the first section is max ID trimmed. Oh, if it's not trimming it, then max ID is equal blank, or whatever it was prior to when this was running. Ah. We're also throwing this into convert watts. Oh, I know how to fix this. It makes me think of Star Trek, the new Star Trek. I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. I can do that. So I can fix this, I think. Otherwise, max ID trimmed equals temp I2 plus 3 dot toString. Well, I don't even think I need that, actually. And we'll do the same thing right here. Else. So this is basically saying if it doesn't see a new line character. Min ID trimmed equals temp. Oops, see. Temp I2 plus 3. Check that. Oh, come on. Really? Oh, I haven't. Invalid expression term? What is this thing talking about? I know I get... Oh, I did the same exact thing up here, and there's no P. Same exact thing. I didn't even copy and paste it. I made the same exact error. That's hilarious. Yeah, like I said, I apologize for my sloppy programming today. It's mostly just because I'm exhausted. I'm still not even done with my recordings for the weekend. Yay! So yeah, if I'm just really off base this weekend, that's kind of what's going on. Is I'm trying to get ahead of the game for the weekend that we're going to be gone, but it also equates to just being kind of all over the place. So here's an interesting predicament. We've set it up to do max output, which these are the reactors, and then current output. Max current. Okay? Max current. So we're using one of the reactors at 530 kilowatts. Then max. Oh, come on. Max current. Max current. Max current. So, I don't know why current is not showing up at all. That's the weird part to me, is this part looks right. I need to double check and see if this part is accurate, but current doesn't seem to be tallying, like, at all. So, that's an interesting little problem. We did the same structure, and it seems to be printing out. So it's in this part, calculate power status, in which this all's set up right. Convert to watts. We did all that. Power in watts. Oh, I didn't even think to, when I got done, display these. Alright, so current power in watts. It's not giving me any errors, so that... Oh! Ha 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 ha. Let's see if that makes a difference. I don't know if it actually will or not. It seems like it should, because those are no longer floats. I mean, it wasn't seeming to affect max power, but who knows? Nope, didn't do anything. Alright, well, let's check this again. Okay, so what are we looking at here? Calculate power status, double current. String final display, max power. If max, all this seems fine, which is what it's doing down in the lower part too. Final display string plus equals, because we're adding to this string the total, which that worked. Then we're doing a new line, current power, colon. So what is happening here that then nothing is getting Wait a minute. No. Okay, no, I'm further down. I scrolled up it. I don't want to talk about it. So in case you were wondering, if you're new to programming and you're like, wait, what is the big deal? This if condition was set to if current is greater than or equal to this number and maximum is less than or equal to it's supposed to be current. It's supposed to be a range. Okay. So now that we've gotten past all the stupid errors, hopefully, that are just me screwing up my programming, let's see if this works. Alright, there's that. Edit public. Aha! Success! So, we've got 23.08 megawatts of maximum power. Current power is 0.62 kilowatts. I'm wondering if that's actually done properly, because I don't think that's right at all. I think it should be 600 or 62 kilowatts or something. I'll have to look into the math on that one. And then we have 2.66% power usage. So now the question is any of that actually right? That's the question of the hour. Alright, so we look like we're currently using 5 megawatts of power, which would be 12%, not 2. Let's see if that's accurate. I thought there was a way to filter by power. Whatever. So, alright, we've got small reactor. This one is putting out 530. That should have told us right there it's not 0.62 kilowatts. That's dumb. So 530 and then, excuse me, 83. Wait, where's it getting 5 megawatts? Oh, hold on. I think it's because these aren't actually being used. There's no current output, so it's saying 5.8 because that's what the reactors are using. That brings this whole calculation into a whole nother light. I've got to take into account if it's equal to 0 or not. Ugh. Ugh. That's not cool at all. Alright, we're going to end up back at Visual Studios for a second here. So give me just a second to jump back over and carry this code with me, and I will be back momentarily. Alright, so here we are, back in the Visual Studio lab. Yeah, this is gonna get kind of complicated. Alright, so I'm wondering if we should add another clause to the find min and max thing here. Actually, this should be find current, not min. I don't know why this is set to min. Actually, I don't even know why this is set to min. What am I doing? This is what happens when you program at like 2 in the morning. Sorry about that. Don't mind me. Current. Okay, and current. Sweet. Yeah, I don't know what I'm thinking sometimes. I'm just programming and typing, but when you program really late at night, you miss like all these little stupid typo errors and stuff like that. And it's funny, I get people complimenting, "Oh, your code's really clean," and I'm like, really? I'm screwing this crap up all the time. What is this error? Options to update references to the renamed object. Rename min ID to current. I did that. Go away. You're drunk. Visual Studios, go home. So I'm wondering if we need to add some kind of if to where if this one is equal to 0, then like we don't add it. Or, man, this is going to be tricky because I've been just looping through all of the different data types. I wonder... Not... Well... If... Alright. Here's the thing. So far we have it set up to where max output and current output should, theoretically, have the same exact indices, whatever. I'm too tired to properly pronounce words. So, theoretically then, if we check current, we can go back and remove one from max? Maybe? This is getting... Unless I do max or current first. Ooh. That might be onto something. Because I'm wondering, there's a way to continue the loop, which will just skip everything. So let's move this up here. So we're gonna do current first, and then max. Oops, I guess I have insert toggled. Okay, so first thing we're going to do here... No, I have to make sure it's current. Dang it. Alright, so... It needs to be within the current if statement. So let's right here say check for activity. Maybe? And then we'll say if, actually let's put this up here. If temp I2 plus 2, which will be the value, equals 0, then we want to continue. Let's highlight this, see what it says. Can you highlight it, please? Thank you. Continue. Okay, so it is set up for the loop here. It's not giving me IntelliSense at all. That's crappy. Come on. Tell me what's up. Okay. So, in theory, this should check for current value. The only problem is if it's not on the current output and it goes to the max and we miss this check, then it's going to loop through here and add it to the max power limit anyway. Dang nabbit. I wonder, I could do an else. Maybe we could make this an else if. Let's try that and hope it doesn't break anything. And just for making sure this works right, I'm going to move this up here so that it's directly connected to this sequence. Otherwise, I'm afraid it's not going to work right. And we'll put find max there. Okay, so it's still not going to do anything. That won't make any bit of difference. Because if it's not this, it's going to try this. Dang nabbit. There's got to be a way. All right. And of course, these aren't consistent, that the reactors have current output right under max. The batteries are a couple down and the solar panels are right next to it again. So of course it wouldn't be as easy as just skipping through the indices to find the one that we need. Alright. Alright. Oh, hold on. Hold on. We might be doing this in the wrong loop. Let's keep this here for a second. What I'm actually going to do is make a different loop. So we split power gens into temp. Let's make power gens is a list. Let's try this. I don't know if this will work or not. I've not done too much with string arrays. Let's just declare that. Is that going to give me any problem? No, it's not. Okay, cool. So for int, oops, parentheses, int, let's just go with k for now, because I might leave that other loop down there. Less than temp dot length. Oh, too many p's. Before I was leaving them off, now I'm getting too many. K plus plus. Alright, we got any problems? No. Good. I like no errors. Okay. So from here, we're going to say if temp at k dot contains current and temp k plus 1 contains output. And bear with me, I'm doing this by the seat of my pants here. I'm not really entirely positive on how this is actually going to end up working. Oops. What happened? There we go. Alright. So This isn't going to help me, is it? Because... Wait a minute, wait. I might be able to check this before. We're in power gens. I might be able to break this out of here. Yeah, hold on. Sorry. Again, it's really late. I'm really tired. I apologize for all that. We're going to remove this as well. So what I'm going to do is actually below this part. So we've got the power generators through this part up here in the acquired power gen section. Let's do a comment section and say eliminate inactive power generators. And we're going to do this by going for, we'll do K for this one. K is less than power gens dot count K plus plus. And I might make a new list. I don't know if I'll need this or not, but I want to work with it for now, and then if I can figure out a better way to do it, great. Trimmed, or no, let's call it active gens. New list. Alright. So from here, this is going to be the tricky part. We're going to do... Wait. Alright, let me check something real quick here. Current output, let's copy this. That's right there what we could use. Because current output is always equal to current space output colon space 0 space and then the index or the identifier. Doesn't matter where it is, that's what it's always equal to. So let's say if power gens dot, or no, K dot detailed info contains that. Parentheses. Or wait, no. I want to actually check it and see if it doesn't contain that. So let's do a exclamation point there, which negates the statement. So if powergens k.data does not contain this, basically is what we're saying. Then we want to activegens.add powergens at k. There we go. Now from here, we're going to change this to active gens. Change this to active gens detailed info.split. So pretty much everything else will work the same, I think. And we won't need this. And we can actually move this back down because it's not really important anymore. So we didn't have to do too much, we just had to loop through it again to find all the active stuff. Assuming this works, which is a big assumption. It's a huge assumption. Okay. I mean, it makes sense, though. We declared a blank list, went through the list. Now, if I'm getting really, really tricky, I could add this. Oh, this would be slick. This would be slick. We could actually put this right up in here, and we could skip out this loop entirely. We would just have to change this to I. And then add this part in here. So, theoretically, when we're acquiring power generators, it would say, well, no, actually, I don't know that I want to do that. let's not do that, actually. Well, I know I'm being indecisive. Part of that is because I'm thinking to myself, this is power status, though. We'll reacquire them in other functions if we need them. Yeah, we'll leave it like that. Because what I was thinking is, do I want to eliminate the ones that aren't active? But, well, I mean, what I'm looking for is I'm trying to make the system as accurate as possible to what the game already does. When you jump into the cockpit, it says 5.08 megawatts, and you have this much percentage being used. I want it to convey that information onto the screen when you're looking at it. However, I'm finding as I'm looking through and trying to figure this out, it's not accurate information because it's not taking into account the overall amount of power. It's just looking at the ones that are active. We have 3 reactors that would make it way over 5 megawatts of power. So the 5.08 is coming from the 1 reactor and the 1 solar panel, not from anything else. And then the current usage is only off of those. So it's not taking into account total power. But for now, I'm trying to get it as accurate as possible. So we can tweak with this. Let me know what you guys think, too. If we get this to work, and this actually ends up working, I'm actually going to comment this out. I'm going to comment from here to down here. And the reason for that being that I don't know that I want to get rid of that just yet. I kind of like that in there so that we can put that in there if we want it back and still have access to all of our power generators. That's the big thing. Doing it... I'm almost talking myself out of doing this. Yeah, screw it. Yeah, I talked myself out of it. Let's get rid of that. Where's this going? Oh, no, that was removing the other thing. So, like I said, the reason I'm talking myself out of this is because this one gives us all of our power generators. Anything that generates power. Anything that has an output. This one, though, will eliminate them for our purposes right now. If we want a section later in this same function or same method to utilize all of them to calculate the total, well, then we have it. In this case, we're kind of doing the same thing. We're going off of max, but we're only using the active generators to create the maximum powers in watts anyway. So it should come out in the watt. It should come out in the watt, mathematically. Mathematically, it should come out. Anyway, it should be fine. Should be fine. Alright, so I guess it's time to tab back over to the game and try this out, I suppose. Okay, I would just like to point out, it's late, I'm very tired, and I'm making a lot of stupid mistakes. So, when one uses XSplit and decides they pause one screen of footage and switch over to in-game footage before renewing their recording session, one should make sure that they've selected the game, not Visual Studios. Because I just spent the last 10 minutes telling you guys about this thing on the back of the board, which is really awesome. And then I pulled up XSplit only to realize that it's been recording Visual Studios the whole time I talked. So yeah. Yeah, don't do that. So, to recap what you did not hear, we got it. We got it. We got it. Oh, that's right. You didn't see my happy dance. Look at my happy dance. We got it. We got it. Woohoo! So, as you can see, maximum power 5.08 megawatts, 615 kilowatts, and 12.10% power usage. Now, I'm going to have to go over what you guys didn't see because I was being a derp and didn't record the right screen. So here's what I changed to get that to work. First of all, percentile needs a percentage symbol, right? So I added this plus with the percentage symbol so that now it actually adds it to the back of the power usage percentage. Now, one big problem, if you've been following along with my code, big error that I had was right here. I had this set to 1,000,000 and this one was set to 1,000. Bad. Bad for business. Because it needs to divide by 1,000 in order to convert it to kilowatts, not 1,000,000. That would be megawatts, which is why it was coming up as 0.62 kilowatts instead of 620 kilowatts, is because I was dividing it by the wrong number. So make sure that's 1,000, then 1,000,000, then a kajillion, billion, whatever this number is that... I know, it's not that. What is it, trillion? Maybe? That's... yeah, 1,000... or no, 100,000, million. So this would... billion? I don't know, it's too late to math. I'm done. So, yeah. Make sure those changes are in place. And then basically what we did before. And yeah, it's running now and giving us the accurate information. Now, I know a lot of people will go, hey, fuel time is doable now because this says 5.08 megawatts and 12%, and so does this. 5.08 megawatts from reactors power usage is 12%, so we've got their calculations on how it's being done. Finally solved it. It's because it's only using actively used thingies. Problem with the fuel time is I don't know enough about it to know how it's calculating the time. This is something I brought up, but you guys didn't get to hear it. So I'm bringing it up again. Basically, for all of you that may be more familiar or connected with how the inner workings of the game work, whether it's from reading dev blogs or just reverse engineering, whatever, what I need to figure out, and if you already know this, feel free to share, it would save me a lot of time, is if the game calculates the fuel time, like you have this many hours before you're out of fuel, whatever. What I need to figure out is if it calculates that based on ticks or seconds. Even if they're not real-time seconds, if the game sees them as seconds, it changes how we calculate the time. Because obviously when we jump into the flight seat, it says 2 hours. So obviously it's eventually calculating time. But I remember somebody saying somewhere in a forum eons ago when I was digging through posts that it was like 20 ticks per in-game second. So if it's using the 615 kilowatts every tick and not every second, that changes massively how we calculate this. If it's going every second, you know, then that's definitely doable. Technically, both of them are doable. It's just figuring out what the game uses so that we can know how far down the chain to break down. Because whenever you're converting something, it's always easiest to break it down to the smallest unit type of thing. Unless you're, I mean, the smallest common unit. Like if, for example, if the game never went below megawatts, well, there'd be no reason to break it down to kilowatts then. But because it goes down to watts, that's what we need to go down to figure everything out and then work our way back up like we do in this code of break it down to watts, and then when we're compiling the string to display, now we need to compress it all into megawatts, kilowatts, gigawatts, whatever. Same thing with calculating the fuel time. We'll need to know whether it's seconds or ticks, because if there's 20 ticks to a second, just for example, we need to break it down to those 20 ticks and then multiply that up to seconds, up to minutes, up to hours before we can figure out how much time you have left on the fuel time. And you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm relatively sure that it only goes up to days. I've never seen it say fuel time was up to years. I think it jumps to like infinity or something, but I think the only time you see it is like you have this many days left. Correct me if I'm wrong, because I will need to know that if we're going to go into fuel time. So this isn't completely done, but the math is done. Now we can actually get into... Actually, I could strip out the rest of the display code and just leave max power, current power, power usage, and be good to go. The other thing we could do is set the active, like to display, loop through the active gens and say, you know, these are the things that are currently active right now. Something like that. But all that's relative to what you guys want to see in the OS, so let me know what you guys think on that. In the meantime, I'm going to wrap this episode up, so I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, and I will see you all next time. Peace.